You know, I've been trying to do more YouTubes with less makeup on and being natural and real. So if you're asking what this is, I have some toothpaste on a pimple that I woke up with this morning. So toothpaste just helps to dry that out. So, okay. So when I first went to get the paperwork in New London, the clerks gave me this packet that said, get divorced under like 60 days, contestant divorce, super easy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, perfect. So that's the paperwork I got, and that's the paperwork I brought to Otello, and that's the paperwork we signed. After signing the paperwork, I still have to actually go and file it now. So I go to the courthouse to file the paperwork, and it's actually a different courthouse I have to go to file it. And they're like, oh, yeah, it can take up to like 3 to 6 months. And I'm like, it literally says like on the front, get divorced under 30 days or 60 days. I forget what it is. I'll show you a picture now. Cute picture. But I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, but that just is like how long it takes us to like get it in front of the judge, and then it can take longer. And I'm like, I don't know. I think he's a clerk. He knows what he's doing. So then he's like, yeah, if you really want it done in under 30 days, this is the paperwork you need. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like we have to do this all over again. So I fill out the paperwork at the courthouse. I fill it out in front of him so the clerk can notarize it there. And he's like, now you just have to mail this to Syngin, and he has to get everything notarized. So I send it to Syngin, and I'm like, you have to get every single paper notarized. Every paper notarized. If you have a problem, an issue, questions, call me, video call me, whatever. Syngin's like, oh, I brought it to a notary, and they said that there's nothing to be notarized. It's already notarized already. And I'm like, my papers, my signatures are notarized, not yours. Well, who am I to argue with the professional? You're not a professional. I'm like, no, I'm not, but the clerk who's gonna file our fucking paperwork is the professional. Like, I'm telling you what he told me to tell you. And so it was just super annoying. He goes to another notary, and another notary's like, oh, what, there's nothing for me to notarize here. And then he's like, so I'm just sending this back to you. I said, Syngin, don't you dare send this back to me not notarized. Don't you dare do that. Get it notarized. I told you if you had any questions or run into any problems to call me or video call me. The notaries are literally, I was like, you could go with a napkin and a signature and say, I need this napkin notarized. The notaries literally notarize what you tell them to notarize. Like, they are working for you. You pay them. Call me next time. So then he goes again. No problems. I told him, make sure you get every page notarized. Okay, cool. No problems. Everything's notarized. I get it. He mails it back to me. It takes me like 4 days to get to the courthouse because I'm in the process of moving out of the apartment. He is now mad at me because I was very mad at the whole like thing, because he was telling me, I'm not getting this notarized. I'm sending it back to you. That sent me into like a thing of like, if he sends this back and it's not right, I have to send it back to him. I'm going to Colombia for 2 months. This is why I wanted to do this faster. This is why I get pissed that everything's always left on me. So he got so mad that I freaked out with the whole notary thing that he's like, oh, well, I don't need to be on the phone with you when you file this, blah, 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 blah. That was something that he had promised me to do that way, because I was like, I am really sad I'm doing this like all on my own. I feel like I'm left yet again to continue doing things like on my own, and I appreciate if you're on the phone with me. And he's like, yeah, of course, I'll be on the phone with you, all good. So now he's mad at me since the whole notary thing, and I was so mad at him for trying to send it back to me not notarized, that he's like, I don't need to be on the phone with you, whatever. So my Eve, I'm with her when Syngin is telling me he won't be on the phone with me, and she can just see like how sad I am, and she's like, babe, I'll go with you, like we can go this weekend, we can file it. And it was so like, so nice of her. I thought it was so sweet. Like, she could just tell I just didn't want to be alone doing this, like, and I really appreciated that. So it is a windy, coldy, rainy, gray day in Connecticut, and I am heading to the courthouse right now to drop off this paperwork with my boo.
Made a good decision right there.
You just saw The guy's flipping through the paperwork. He's like, this is good, this is good. I stopped filming because I can hear him being like, I'm like, what is wrong now? There's one paper Syngin didn't get notarized. So this moment, I'm just like so frustrated. I'm so frustrated with this whole process. I'm frustrated that this is harder than it should be. I'm frustrated that Syngin like left me to do this on my own again. I'm frustrated that like I'm leaving for Colombia in a few days. Like everything is always so last minute. So whatever, like I take the paperwork, you know, I'm literally leaving for Colombia in like 3 or 4 days. So I just don't even have time between making sure I'm packed up, making sure my apartment's clean. Like there was so much I had to do to move out of my apartment that I just didn't have time. So I let my sister Andrea use my Jeep while I'm here in Colombia because she had issues with her car. So I was like, hey, I just need you to mail this paperwork for me. It took her a couple weeks. She finally mails it. Syngin finally gets it, gets the paper notarized, mails it back to my mom, and my mom files it.
Hello. Here I am at the Norwich Courthouse, dropping off Tania and Syngin's divorce papers on February 14th, 2023. Oh yeah, by the way, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Got a copy of the divorce papers, and this young lady helped me out, and we're all set. Everything's filed.
So it's technically was filed on the 23rd, but that's just the day I went, dropped off the paperwork. He said he would file it, but it wasn't fully filed because the missing paper. So my mom just brought that missing paper in. Thank you so much, Mom, for helping me. Thank you so much, Mom, for always being there and doing these things for me. You'll never, ever fully get how much I fully appreciate you. And yeah, so far, my paperwork is officially filed.